In the open fields, the day is measured by the movement of the sun. There is a predictable stillness here, where the only sounds are the rustle of the grass and the steady, slow pace of a life far from any center of industry. The country mouse sustains himself on the barest of essentials. His stores are filled with nothing but barleycorns and roots, still tasting of the earth they were pulled from. He eats his dinner in the open air, unhurried and focused entirely on the meal. Without the shadow of a predator or the noise of a threat, he lingers over these simple scraps as if they were a banquet. This sense of well-being doesn't come from the variety on his plate. It is a byproduct of his surroundings. He thrives because the field is quiet, and the quiet is safe. This calm is broken when his friend arrives from the city. The town mouse takes one look at the dirt floor and the pile of roots and scoffs, making no effort to hide his disdain for the rural setting. He tells his friend that living this way is a waste of time, that scraping for barleycorns is the life of an ant, not a mouse of status. Then comes the promise, a trip to the city larder, where the food is sweet, the supply is endless, and a mouse can finally live on the fat of the land. The country mouse looks down at his dinner, and for the first time, he sees poverty instead of peace. The barleycorns suddenly look dry, and the fields feel empty. He begins to wonder what he has been missing. The mere description of a better larder has changed how the country mouse views his own home. The satisfaction he felt 10 minutes ago has evaporated, replaced by the nagging sense that his quiet life is actually a life of deprivation. They reach the city under the cover of night. Here, the world is built on a scale that makes the mice feel invisible, with walls that stretch toward the ceiling and echoing halls that dwarf their tiny frames. The town mouse leads him into the larder, revealing a hoard of riches: bags of white flour, sticky honey, dried figs, and sweet dates piled high in the darkness. The country mouse is transfixed. He wanders through the piles of sugar and grain, convinced that he has finally discovered how a mouse is meant to live. They prepare to eat, their whiskers twitching at the scent of the honey. This is the moment the country mouse has been waiting for, the peak of his city experience. Looking at the exotic spread, the decision to leave the country seems correct. The sheer volume of food in front of him appears to outweigh any attachment he had to his old dusty fields. But suddenly, the feast is cut short. The larder door swings wide with a deafening crack, and a massive human figure enters, casting a shadow that swallows the entire room. The mice don't think. They run. They scramble across the floor, their claws skidding on the wood as they flee the heavy thud of footsteps. They wedged themselves into a narrow, jagged hole in the baseboard. It is dark, dusty, and so tight they can barely breathe, but they stay frozen there, listening. The hunger the country mouse felt moments ago is gone, replaced by a heart-pounding terror that makes his limbs shake. Eventually, the room falls silent. The light from the hallway vanishes, and the mice venture back out toward the figs, their ears pinned back, twitching at every creak of the house. Before they can take a single bite, the door flies open again. Another intrusion, another frantic scramble for the hole. This isn't an accident. It is the rhythm of the city. The math of this new life is becoming clear. To stay near these piles of sugar and grain, the mice must pay with their safety, living in a state of high alert that never truly ends. The weight of that fear makes the food taste like nothing. All the wealth in the world is useless if you are too terrified to actually consume it. The country mouse stands in the middle of the larder, surrounded by dates and honey, yet his stomach is knotted with stress. He is physically exhausted and still hungry, despite being inches away from a feast. He tells the town mouse he has seen enough. He is leaving the lap of luxury behind, because no amount of fine flour is worth the feeling of waiting for a door to swing open and end his life. As he heads back to the fields, the lesson is clear. The country mouse chooses the barleycorns and the roots, because he knows that a meal eaten in peace is the only one that truly satisfies.